Oh boy. When you're getting closer to the end, just keep on pushing, because only good things can come from it. So, we're back here today at the Firebird. Gonna try to tackle this fuel system. To be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. So I went and actually did the Earl super stock hose. I think it cost maybe close to the same amount of steel braided, and it's really simple to install. I'll kind of set something up and maybe try to show you, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to mount it here while I'm doing this, but I got the actual lines set up. Where's this one at? Is this it? Yeah. I got the actual lines kind of set up here to go to the fuel rail, or to the fuel lines. Bought some new O-rings for the actual fuel lines, because who knows when these are changed last and how old they are. I got to get these lines off the intake, which I've got the tool for. Hopefully one of these freaking work. To be honest with you, in this video, we're probably going to get pretty close to starting this thing. Let's run down our list here. Fuel lines, we'll get that done. We need to do tranny lines. We need to ground that fuel pump. We could put a belt on if we want, but then we got to do the power steering return hose, which won't be much. Radiator hoses, I haven't really figured out too much stuff for that yet, because I don't know if I'm going to run this radiator. I don't know what kind of radiator this is. I don't see a brand on it anywhere or anything like that. So I don't really even know if I'm going to run that one. I actually have this one from my 3rd gen. This is from my IROC back in the day. It was good when I pulled it. So we've got our fittings on there for our trans and everything like that. So does this one. It is a bigger radiator. It's just not tall enough for this application, for this car at least. They do have some mounts here and stuff. I just really don't like the way that looks. But I don't know. It's probably a 3-core, but whatever. We're going to try to put something in there that actually fits. It has these fans on it. Maybe I'll use those. I'm not too sure yet. So, but either way, running down our list after that whole scenario, need a mass airflow sensor. That's on its way. I did get the yoke for the drive shaft. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, for the drive shaft, for the trans. I actually went to a local place called Henderson Driveline, and I got the yoke there for about the same price it was online. So it wasn't too local, but it was still like probably a 30-minute ride, which ain't bad, instead of having to pay for shipping and waiting and stuff like that. So we can slide that guy in the transmission, excuse me, and so the fluid doesn't leak out of the tail shaft. Starter is in. I got the starter in. I did that the other day just because it was quick and easy. Exhaust, we pretty much got that done and wrapped up a little bit. So we just have to actually put the gaskets on and tighten it up to the manifolds. Wiring, we got to just do some odds and ends, and a battery. So not really too much. I think the hardest part's going to be those transmission lines. What I'm thinking of doing is just going and getting a 5/16 line, like a copper line, and then running it back there. I think they said 6 foot would fit or would reach the trans. So I think we're going to go that route. So I guess there's nothing else to do but kind of get started. So see you here in a minute. First things first, I'm going to see if I can pop these lines off here. They've got these little things on them that like supposed to hold them in place, I guess. These little clip connectors. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We'll get this bottom one off too. Maybe we'll save those, huh? We never know if you're gonna need one of those. Yeah, one of these is 3/8 and one of the other one is 5/16. Here's the 5/16 and the 3/8. We'll do the 3/8 first because it's on top. So realistically, you just wrap that around the line and you're supposed to push these in there. And that slides right off. For how much this thing cost, it's worth it for a tool to have. I think it was like 12 bucks or something like that. Probably could help you out a little bit if you lube these. Sprayed some silicone on them or something, but those came right off, so that's good. What we'll do next is, geez, there's just stuff everywhere. Replace these O-rings. There is one on here, it looks like. And they feel like they're pretty old. So we're gonna take the knife and peel that sucker up, maybe. Yeah, it looks pretty old. We'll put that up there for safekeeping, and then we'll go to the lower one, and then we'll pop our new ones on. Our new ones, I got these at AutoZone. They're Dorman part number 800013. They're in the like help section. I think it was Advanced Auto that had them. All right, those are nice and snug. So we're gonna hit them with a little bit of silicone, just to kind of lube them up. So when we put these fittings on there. So Earl sells these adapter fittings that you can put to a steel fuel line. One is like a 3/8 and the other one is like a 5/16. So we're gonna take those and slap them on there. But yeah, this is what they kind of look like. I'll put the part numbers down in the subscription for all these pieces that I used, but one's definitely smaller than the other. So we'll take the 3/8 one. Looks like that'll fit on there. We'll take the 5/16 and then we'll bring up this line and then screw them into each other. So I got the oh boy. So I got the other one on there. Unfortunately, when you tighten something like that's anodized like this, they sell special wrenches for them. I have a set, but I forgot them at home, so we're just gonna use these chrome boys. It's just so you don't mar them up. The regular fuel line is 5/8. It looks like this fitting size is 3/4, or I would say 19. I tried to put like a 16 on this line, and it was just way too tight. I couldn't get the freaking wrench off there. Both of these are the same size. They're -6. So what we're gonna do is screw this guy onto here, like so, hopefully. Like so. Like so. Okay. And then realistically, these guys gotta go. This thing's gonna go like this. Yeah, so we're gonna route this guy kind of like this, because we're gonna have a 90-degree fitting on this back piece here. So once I kind of get that on there, yeah, we'll probably have them run together like that. And then we'll do something like some type of rubber clamp on here so that this isn't rubbing against this brake line. Something along those lines. So Earl sells this fitting. It's like a 3/8 like push connect fitting. It should fit on this line, I'm hoping. I think what you do is put this on the line and then this slides behind it and screws tight to it. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, there's a little O-ring and stuff in there. Trying to see if I can bring you in here and show you what I'm doing. So yeah, I got this little piece that comes out like so. And then I'm guessing when you screw this into here, there's a little O-ring inside here and it pulls it onto this piece. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually push this line on this super stock hose, because all it does is just push in there. But so I just got this kind of on here. I'm not going to tighten this piece down yet, because I don't know if I can push this in here without my vise, because I may have to take these back home and push them into the hose with my vise, because it just you need a lot of pressure. Not too much. The straight ones worked fine, but we're kind of just lining this up here so we can kind of see where we need to cut this hose at. I wish I would have brought a freaking razor blade. That'd be nice, huh? Well, I swore I had a razor somewhere, but I don't know where it went, so we're gonna have something like that. So I'm just gonna try to put a little tick in the hose. Here we go. I've got these cutters. They got a little nick on them. I don't know what I tried cutting with them, but let's find our little slice in here. It's right there. So we got that nice and cut. So I think I'm gonna try to, we're gonna need some spray. I'm gonna see if I could heave this thing in there. Ugh. I mean, that's pretty wild, dude. That's, like, these don't call for clamps or anything like that, so that's what they have you use. I thought I was gonna have to take this thing back home and put it in the vise and everything like that and bring it back, but this looks like it's gonna work. Now, the only difference in this hose is that this is only rated for like 250 PSI. I don't really know what AN line is rated for, maybe probably more than that. So that's why I think there's no clamps for this. So I guess before we tighten this one on, we should tighten this guy up, huh? Probably. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this threads into here, and then it pulls it forward and keeps it locked in place. Will 18 fit? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty decently tight. Oh, I'm gonna leave that line off until I get this other 5/16 one on here. Probably just put that on now. There we go. Oh, almost dropped her. Now we're gonna have to see how we're gonna tighten this guy. If we have room. Huh, well, I guess we're gonna have to pull this off and tighten the 3/8 first. So yeah, we gotta pull that 3/8 off and tighten this 5/16 first, because it's just all in the way. I don't even know if we could do it like this either. That seems good. Pop our 3/8 back on there. Pop this guy back in there. So yeah, definitely got to do that 5/16 first before you do this top 3/8 one, because you just have no room with the wrenches. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the 5/16 line and run it up to there, and then I'll show you when I'm done. All right, y'all, so we got that all done. Those things are pretty good on there, and they're on here pretty well. So I kind of figure out what I'm gonna do is buy some of those like P-clamps, so like a rubber clamp, have that guy use this bolt hole, and then have this one down here use that bolt hole, and we'll hold it away from the brake lines and they'll just kind of be floating there. And I tightened them all up, so they should be good to go. I'm gonna kind of ponder here for a minute and see what I'm gonna do next. So I decided I'm gonna work on getting this radiator out of here, just to get the heck out of the way. Now, when they were doing this, they crimped these rubber lines onto these tranny lines, which isn't that big of a deal, it'll be all right, but I'm just gonna make a hard line for it. So I'm gonna pull all this junk out of here. I'm gonna say that this is some cheap eBay thing. I don't really know. I don't see any lettering on it or anything like that. I just didn't like the mounting setup they had going on. So we're gonna slide this guy in there. Let's check those mounts to see how those look in there. Yeah, they're still there, looks like. They just had them all messed up from God knows what. So we're gonna try to, we got a nice puddle of tranny fluid down there now, ain't that great? So I'm gonna try to stick these in here and then stick that radiator in here. Whoa. Look at that. And I think I have a support at home. We'll keep that like that. Like I said, I think I have a support at home. If not, we'll frickin' make something. We'll just use those, we'll have, like, get a piece of aluminum to go over this and hold it back. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I have a mount at home. This got like a port here that hopefully we can maybe like downsize and then adapt it to hook up to this steam port. But I gotta get the rest of these lines out of here because there's still tranny fluid in them. So at home, I've got a hose for that return line for the power steering. So I'll bring that over and we'll do that right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is squat under the car and try to see if this yoke slides in that trans. Let's get the hay up under here. How did this cobweb come across there already? So let's take our yoke. Let's see if we can get our light better situated. All right, let's take our yoke. See? Oh yeah, that fits right in there. Cool. Nice. Well, that's good. So that'll be good. So we won't have to worry about any extra tranny fluid running on the ground, because if you know, like I do, tranny fluid ain't cheap anymore. I did find a deal for Dextron 3 for those guys that run GM stuff that need Dextron 3. If you go in your Walmart, I don't know if it's just this area, but they sell Valvoline Dextron 3 for like, it's the online price is like $17.95 or something like that. If you go in store, I think it's like $24. So that's the cheapest I could find it. If you go to freaking like O'Reilly's or somewhere, they're like $32, which is just ridiculous. So I think what I'm gonna do next is, I didn't bring my freaking Sharpie with me, so I can't mark any of this stuff off. But I think what I'm gonna do is tighten up the exhaust with the actual clamps. I may be waiting on that because I gotta see if I got some, I wanna use some locking washers, and I don't know if I have enough. So I'm gonna rummage here, and then maybe I'll find you under the car. All right, y'all, well, we found a little bit of an issue. I'm gonna take you under here and show you exactly what that issue is. Yeah. Hopefully I can get the camera up here. I have to hold this pipe up. There's my right arm here. Let me get it up here. So, y'all see where I got the O2 bung at? Boom, right into the frickin' starter. So we're gonna have to put one right about on this side. Thankfully I have an extra bung at home, so I'm gonna have to take this thing back home and weld it. Dang it. All right, we got our mufflers painted nice and black, so maybe it'll hide a little bit. We'll see. right, this freaking clamp doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm gonna have to slide this back out, of course. Oh, slide this on here. There we go. Now I'll slide this in here. That don't look too bad. Maybe at one point we could paint that spot right there. Yeah, we'll deal with that. So this is that distribution block thing I was talking about. Probably gonna take that guy and mount him in this crusty battery box. It's just a mount. As long as it holds, that's all we need. I guess we gotta kind of figure out where we want this thing. Probably gonna put it something like that. Oh boy, that thing tightened down tough, didn't it? Scoot that guy over there. Put the screw down in here like so. Oh man. Almost, huh? So I crimped a couple of these guys on there. This is like the powers going into the fuse block. We'll run those down to there. Now, I have this cable from, this was in this car. This thing's a little beat up, but not too bad. At least I can see what the length is, and I guess for now, I don't have to spend any money on another cable this freaking long. So I'm gonna see if this will kind of reach maybe from the passenger side to the driver side. So I'm definitely, probably at one point we'll move the battery to the back because I think you have to have it at the back anyway. Looks like there's a little hole here. We maybe, oh yeah, that'll fit right through there. We could probably put a grommet in that even. Nice. Let's see how far over this goes. I think it'll reach. Oh, heck yeah, dude. We even got some length on that thing. Cool. Yeah, we could cut some of that out and frickin' ship it. But yeah, if you look, that's the wire coming over here. We've got a bunch of slack left over there. That'll probably be where I leave it today. It just got really cold out here. It was in like the 40s today. It just dropped down into 30s, so whatever. We got our fuel lines done. What else did we get done here? We got that yoke and the actual trans. Figured out what we got to do for our wiring. We got our starter in, obviously not today. So big things that we got to do is just, oh man, not too much, dude. We just got to freaking get a battery for it, transmission lines, ground that fuel pump, and we could hit the key on this thing. We got to get a battery. So maybe I'll do that too. Exciting. All right, we're back today. A little bit better today. Sun's out. So I have decided that I'm probably going to try to get this thing to run today. We'll see what happens. I don't have any cooling hoses. I don't have like the steam port hooked up. So I'm not going to run a belt or anything like that. Because all I need to do is just see if this thing fires, make sure there's no main leaks on the engine or, you know, whatever. So realistically, first thing I'm going to start with is the thing I don't want to do the most, and that is training lines. So I bought 2 of these 6-foot 5/16 lines. So I'm going to try to bend these up myself, try to figure out a way to route them and everything. Probably going to set you up on a time lapse just because there's going to be no room in here for a camera. So I'll pop you guys on there, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so not my best work, but they're gonna work for now, at least to get this thing running. Unfortunately, I had to cut and flare these a few times because, like I said, whoever said 6 foot, way too long. Do your research. All right, so we got power wire ran down to the starter. That's pretty simple. I got these 2 wires. One of them is the actual starter wire from the car, and then the other one is the crank sensor. I got them tied together, but this is for you, Rudy, in the future. If you're watching this video, go back and fix these. I'm just gonna leave them there for now, but if I like tie them up to this harness up here, they kind of like rub on the engine block down there. If you know anything about wiring, you don't want stuff rubbing against a piece of metal, because when you're going, or against a piece of metal, because when you're going down the road and the thing's shaking, it's just going to rub a hole into it, and then you're going to have problems. So, not all I have to do, but what I'm going to do next is I got a ground wire for this thing. This thing's kind of a mess in here, but that'll come at a later date. We'll take the ground and pretty much just put it right here to the passenger side head. We've got a couple connectors up here. I know just one of these is literally for the O2 sensor, so that'll go down there. And then we have one on the or driver side. I'll probably route that thing down there now and plug it in and get that out of the way. What else? Mass airflow. Our connector is like right here. I do have that, and I got like a silicone piece. I actually had one, thank God, because those things aren't cheap. We got to put spark plug wires on, which I have in that white box over there. And we got a power wire ran from over here to in here to where we have our little distribution block. Unfortunately, I freaking lost my, or I don't know where it is, my crimping tool for these. It may be at Tony's, but for now, I may just smack that thing down with a punch. And, you know, it'll be good for right now. And then at a later date, because it's a little too long anyway, so at a later date, we'll cut it, make it nice, and heat shrink it and everything like that. So I'm going to nitpick away here. We got some other stuff, obviously, that we need to kind of button up. I think this is the hose. Oh, yeah. This is the hose for the brake booster off the truck. So maybe we run this, oh boy, run this one to here. Hopefully it's the same size. And that'll be one big vacuum leak we don't have to worry about. I don't know if there's any other. I guess we'll figure it out if this thing sounds like it's got a cam or something. So yeah, I'm gonna put all that stuff in here, and then we'll head to the house and weld that O2 bung on. And I freaking forgot the keys. So at least I gotta run there anyway. Alright, so I just did the little STP action here. Hopefully it works. And I don't know, I'm gonna fill this up a little bit. It was the cheapest they had. Oh, Jesus. That's good enough. Put a little oil on your seal there. And then slide under and shove it on there. I'm gonna try to fill this thing up. Or, no, me. Oh, jeez. Oh, you know what? We got this thing that somewhat fits in there. It'll fit in there like that. Good enough to pour the oil in. This is only 5 quarts, so we're gonna literally put this whole thing in there. Oh, Jesus. So we're not really on a level surface, but I am gonna pull this dipstick, kind of see what it says. Well, it says it's full. All right, so got that in there. We're gonna roll to my house. I'm gonna get that O2 welded on, get the keys for the car, and then maybe try to find a couple other things. I don't know yet. Look at you. What the hell is going on here, dude? You get it? There you go.
Got me out here in freaking negative degree weather.
Hey, you know, you do things for the people you love, okay?
I know.
All right.
And action.
So, I got back here. As you've seen, I got that O2 sensor bung thing welded on there. Got that pipe on. I got the mufflers on. Plugged the mass airflow sensor. Got that on. Hooked up our wire to over here for our powers. We got our ECU plugged in. O2 sensors are plugged in. We got some oil in it. So, and there's wires everywhere, but we'll tie all that away. I've got the injectors unplugged for now, just to kind of crank it over. We may be starting this thing with a no oil pressure thing on it, because I forgot to grab the frickin' socket at home for that oil pressure sensor. We'll see what I feel like doing. Because I could go up to AutoZone and buy another one. It's just I don't know if they'll have one. But as of right now, I'm gonna try to get some fluid in the transmission. So we got 2 quarts, or 2 gallons. Hopefully this, sure. Looks like it'll reach, so we're gonna plug this stuff in there. I'm at least gonna put a gallon in here. So it's not dry. I don't know if it's gonna take all 2 gallons. We lost a decent amount of tranny fluid, but I'm sure there's still some in there, and I'm sure the torque converter's still filled up, so. Let's see what happens if we can pour this without getting it everywhere. I'm gonna just, oh geez, I'm gonna just do that much. Take a peek under here and see if it's leaking from the dipstick down at the trans. No drippy doos. So, we're gonna shove this gallon in there then. Not a really good spot for this dipstick, but hey, as long as it fit, that's all I gave a crap about. It smells like something died in here, honestly. I don't know what it is, but I've been smelling it since I got here. This is really exhilarating. I'm pretty excited and nervous. I mean, it's a 5.3. It should have oil pressure, right? The way I've seen it is, you kind of know they have oil pressure once those lifters stop clacking. We're going to try to turn this thing over a decent amount. But I know these LS's, like a small block Chevy, usually it would, if you spin it over enough, it'll get some oil pressure after a while of spinning it over. I heard these LS's, you really gotta like prime them to actually get them to read anything or come up, so. Shove our dipstick back down in there. Oh, well, that might be in the tube. All right. So that's done. I guess we stick our nice Walmart battery in there. These freaking things out of here. You know what the red means?
Positive.
Good job. Heck yeah. All right. There's a lot of stuff on the ground. I can't. I'll clean up when I'm done. If you own a GM battery, buy these. All right, let's stick these things on here and see if I wired it right. So, well, maybe before I hook the power up, I should pour this gas in there. It's fresh 87. I didn't buy 93 because, I don't know. I don't want this thing to run weird if it's not set up for 93. I know it can run it, but it's got some fresh 87. I know this guy was driving this car like maybe last year or something, and he pulled the motor and everything out of it. So, and the gas to me doesn't smell that bad, and it's got a brand new tank in it. So things maybe I don't think they're that bad. It's not like it's like a 30-some-year-old tank. Yes, I'm using the same funnel I used for the tranny fluid, but it just gets everything lubed up, you know? And I filled this thing to the brim. Just want to mix that new gas, you know, with a little bit, maybe a 1.5 year old gas, but that's not terrible. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. Well, bump. Okay. We might hook something up because you heard the headlights go. Hook something up right. Don't be making any sudden movements over there, dude. Smell anything? Any smoke? Lights are on in the car. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is our neutral safety switch. If anything, we can just we freaking did something, yo. Well, that's cool. Any leaks? Oh yeah, we got a little bit of a fuel leak here. Oh, because I never tightened that line. Durr! No drippies up there. All right. Try to cycle that key a couple times, see if that leaks anymore. Hear that? It's a fuel pump. Drip free. All right. So this shouldn't do anything because I have the injectors unplugged. Usually on GMs, I know at least my Camaro and stuff like that, when you cycle the key, it always blasts a spurt of gas in there. So it shouldn't have done that because there's nothing in it, or they're unplugged. Ready? Sounds a little odd. You want to turn that over for me? Yeah, just turn the key like you're gonna start it. I gotta see if I can see what that noise is.
Oh, Jesus.
Go ahead. Oh, it's a starter. Go! Go! Go ahead. I think that we're not leaking, so that's good. I think the starter or it either needs a shim or we're gonna have to check it out once we get it up in the air. I think it just needs a shim, but that's probably what it is. Typical GM stuff. Or it's a cheap, crappy. It's a Delphi starter. It's a Delphi starter, so it shouldn't be doing that, but it still says made in China on it. That sounds like crap. Well, what do we do here? I say we start it. So, if it makes that noise while it's running, we got a problem. But I think it's just the starter. I think we might need a shim. What's the battery at?
48.
Okay. Guess we're gonna see what the hell happens. For a bit, if it'll be okay. Let's see if we see any leaks. Wow, that oil pan's freaking low. We can only have to go get a tune. Let's shut her off. I think we got a big vacuum leak, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke.
That's normal though, babe. It's because those manifolds are all new, so they've got like an oil on them from the factory, so they'll smoke. But I think we have a big vacuum leak because I just heard that thing like sucking as I shut it off. Oh, we do. Up here. What did I do with... Oh, I knocked the plugs all over the place. Found the one I needed, though. Yeah, look at it. This huge vacuum leak up top. Let's breathe on the key and see what she does now. That starter needs shim. Sounds like we got a dead lifter. Not bad. It's pretty quiet. Not bad. Shut her down. Getting hot already. Well, that's pretty good. She ran. Wonder how hot it is. Not too bad. I can still put my hand on that cylinder head, so that's pretty good. And this one? Yeah. If I can put my hand on that and hold it there, that's pretty good. Seemed like it was tightening up on me. Also, kind of seems like it's lifters are a little clacky. Now, obviously, we don't know what our oil pressure was, but I think it would have been a lot worse. Usually, if you have no oil pressure, my stepdad had a like 07 Sierra where his oil pump went on it. I think the spring inside of it collapsed, and he had no oil pressure. And if you have no oil pressure, you will literally hear the whole valve train clattering. It's like clack, 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 clack. You'll know you have no oil pressure. But hey, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, y'all. We'll take that as a win. Almost breathed on that key and it started right up. But starters needs to be shimmed badly. But whatever. GM problems. Also, other GM problems is the frickin' ticky lifter we have. I'd like to get back over here and see what our oil pressure is. Like I said, if you had no oil pressure, that whole valve train would be clattering. And we didn't get it too hot. You know, I was still able to put my hand on the manifold and stuff like that. So nothing too crazy, actually. Yeah, we're firing everywhere, so that's good. And it's not too loud, which I kind of like. Maybe we'll have to make it louder. But probably next video we'll get back over here, get the hoses on, get the power hooked up to the alternator, get the oil pressure gauge in there. I think I said belt already. I don't know. And yeah, try to start it up and let it run for a while. Hopefully, if we let it run for a while, we'll that ECU it'll get up to temp and let it, figure out the fuel trims and stuff like that. Usually, that's why these have a 2-wire coolant temp sensor, because the ECU reads the coolant temp and it's like won't kind of give you full power until you get up to a certain temperature. So I'd like to let it run for a while, and get the fluids through it and stuff. I didn't check the dipstick on the trans, but I've seen some on there before, so we know it's not dry, and it already had fluid in it before, so we should be good on that aspect. But yeah, like I said, I'll take a win today because started and ran. I mean, that's half the battle. And so hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave a like, leave a comment if you did like this, and or what you liked about it, and hit that subscribe button for me if you'd like. But for now, take it easy.